Hey, it's Lisa with Easy, where I try to do better, be better, and share it with you too. Today is the 27th of June, 2024, and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was just reading from this one quarterly I get. It's called Scoop the Fried. And I colored it, of course, just, make it look more colorful. But anyway, they're talking about how are cows smarter than scientists and the GMO foods. They are causing lots of problems, and if you don't know about them, use just genetically modified food. What's really been bothering me lately is all the stuff that's bioengineered. So you need to look at your ingredients, which is another big pisser for me when you can't see, even with your glasses on, because it's this tiny, it's so small you can't see it. God, that's frustrating. But just don't buy it if you can't see it, because most of the stuff here, I'm not reading all of this, but I'll put it up here in case you can do a screenshot and read it yourself. So, thousands of Americans have reported allergic reactions to the FDA after eating Kraft and other brand name corn products likely to contain GMO ingredients. Lab tests and industry disclosures indicate that 60 to 75% of all processed non-organic supermarket foods now contain GMO ingredients. And what's funny is a couple years later, this farmer, in 1988, an Iowa farmer harvested both natural corn and genetically modified organisms, variety on his farm in Morris. Curious about how his cows would react to the pesticide-producing BT corn, he filled one side of his 16-foot trough with the BT and dumped the natural corn on the other side. Normally, his cows would eat as much corn as was available, never leaving leftovers, but when he left 25 of them into the pen, they all congregated around the natural corn. After it was gone, they nibbled a bit on the BT and quickly walked away. So a couple years later, this farmer joined a room full of other farmers in Ames to hear Al Gore, who was a presidential candidate at that time. Troubled by Gore's unquestioning acceptance of GMO food, he asked Gore to justify his viewpoint. Gore replied that scientists said there is no difference between GMO and non-GMO foods. The farmer said that he respectively disagreed and described how his cows refused to eat GMO corn. He added, "My cows are smarter than those scientists." That's, it's crazy, but they don't want to eat it, and that tells you a lot. Also, it says down here that the lab tests and industry disclosures indicate that 60 to 70% of all processed, I already read that part. What I didn't read was they're also putting in the cows the growth hormone, as well as the human environmental concerns over the GMO corn, soy, canola, and cotton. The U.S. government, conspiring with special interests against the American people, which I truly believe, refuses to require safety testing or labeling for GMO foods. Europe, Japan, China, Russia, and other nations have banned U.S. food imports that contain GMOs. China, Russia, and other nations have banned U.S. food imports that contain GMOs. Venezuela, Hungary, and other countries have banned all GMO crops from their country's soil. This saying that the bees, even the bees that were near the GMO fields, are gone. They're dead. They're dying. All these, increased use of toxic pesticides damages the soil, and then the genetic pollution of adjoining farmlands, and it's harm to the monarch butterflies. And it's just crazy what's happening here all over. So you need to watch your food. They're saying that it's causing more cancer, as well as other diseases that are running rampant in America. So in the United States of America, anyway. Also, if you know any, I'm glad I wear this because of the mosquitoes. And I just heard another report about dengue fever, which is a mosquito-borne disease. And then this guy that owns a lot of farm fields, his first name starts with a B and his last name starts with a G, and he's been messing with mosquitoes for a while now. So they're saying that there's a big increase in all these dengue fevers, which is supposed to be really, really bad. Some people can die from it. So make sure you don't wear the DEET, but wear some sort of natural insect repellent. Also, no standing water in which I need to go make sure, because with all I got plants everywhere, I need to make sure there's just no water or standing water anywhere, because that's where they do grow. But anyway, I came to you today to read chapter 46, I believe, in the book of Jasher. I do thank you for joining me. Hopefully it's already been, I've always taught 46. Let's see how many verses. There's only 20, so that'll be fast. Good. All right, and then this is the other page of the 100 natural cures for cancer. Hopefully you can see that. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Microwave cooking is very, very bad for you. It's definitely causing cancer. I know a lot of people don't realize that. And I run from anybody that starts their microwave when I'm around it, because it goes so far and it causes cellular damage. You don't see it. It's a silent killer. Anyway, I'll say a quick prayer. Dear Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the many blessings and answered prayers. Please be with us as we read you and seek you daily in all of our seeking of you, whether it be alone or with others. Please help us be a blessing to others. Watch over those that come to this channel and keep them aware and safe and out of harm's way. We ask all this in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. Or Yahweh. I'm trying to get used to saying that because someone else had told me where Jesus had came from. I don't really remember exactly, but it was not good. So I will try to say Yahweh. It's just not something that I'm used to, that's all. All right, chapter 46. In those days, Joseph was still confined in the prison house in the land of Egypt. At that time, the attendants of Pharaoh were standing before him, the chief of the butlers and the chief of the bakers, which belonged to the king of Egypt. And the butler took wine and placed it before the king to drink, and the baker placed bread before the king to eat. And the king drank of the wine and ate of the bread, he and his servants and ministers that ate at the king's table. And whilst they were eating and drinking, the butler and the baker remained there, and Pharaoh's ministers found many flies in the wine, which the butler had brought, and stones of nitre were found in the baker's bread. Nitre, nitre. And the captain of the guard placed Joseph as an attendant on Pharaoh's officers, and Pharaoh's officers were in confinement 1 year. And at the end of the year, they both dreamed dreams in one night in the place of confinement where they were. And in the morning Joseph came to them to attend upon them as usual, and he saw them, and behold, their countenances were dejected and sad. And Joseph asked them, Why are your countenances sad and dejected this day? And they said unto him, We dreamed a dream, and there is no one to interpret it. And Joseph said unto them, Relate, I pray you, your dream unto me, and God shall give you an answer of peace as you desire. And the butler related his dream unto Joseph, and he said, I saw in my dream, and behold, a large vine was before me. And upon that vine I saw 3 branches, and the vine speedily blossomed and reached a great height, and its clusters were ripened and became grapes. And I took the grapes and pressed them in a cup, and placed it in Pharaoh's hand, and he drank. And Joseph said unto him, The 3 branches that were upon the vine are 3 days. Yet within 3 days the king will order thee to be brought out, and he will restore thee to thy office, and thou shalt give the king his wine to drink as at first, when thou wast his butler. But let me find favor in thy sight, that thou shalt remember me to Pharaoh when it will be well with thee, and do kindness unto me, and get me brought forth from this prison. For I was stolen away from the land of Canaan, and was sold for a slave in this place. And also that which was told thee concerning my master's wife is false, for they placed me in this dungeon for naught. And the butler answered Joseph, saying, If the king deal well with me as at first, as thou last interpreted to me, I will do all that thou desirest, and get thee brought out of this dungeon. And the baker, seeing that Joseph had accurately interpreted the butler's dream, also approached and related the whole of his dream to Joseph. And he said unto him, In my dream I saw, and behold, 3 white baskets upon my head. And I looked, and behold, there were in the uppermost basket all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and behold, the birds were eating them from off my head. And Joseph said unto him, The 3 baskets which thou didst see are 3 days. Yet within 3 days Pharaoh will take off thy head, and hang thee upon a tree, and the birds will eat thy flesh from off thee, as thou sawest in thy dream. In those days the queen was about to be delivered, and upon the day she bare a son unto the king of Egypt. And they proclaimed that the king had gotten his firstborn son, and all the people of Egypt together with the officers and servants of Pharaoh rejoiced greatly. And upon the 3rd day of his birth Pharaoh made a feast for his officers and servants, for the hosts of the land of Zor and of the land of Egypt. And all the people of Egypt and the servants of Pharaoh came to eat and drink with the king at the feast of his son, and to rejoice at the king's rejoicing. 18. We have 3 more. And all the officers of the king and his servants were rejoicing at that time for 8 days at the feast, and they made merry with all sorts of musical instruments, with timbrels and with dances in the king's house for 8 days. And the butler to whom Joseph had interpreted his dream forgot Joseph, and he did not mention him to the king as he had promised, for this thing was from the Lord in order to punish Joseph because he had trusted in man. 20, last one. And Joseph remained after this in the prison house 2 years, until he had completed 12 years. Wow. Yeah, so tomorrow's chapter 47. I do thank you for joining me. Today's word of the day was, I can't believe I didn't write it down. Foudroyant. I'm not sure now. Foudroyant. F-R-O-U-Y. I don't know. I'd have to go look. It means stunning or dazzling or unexpected, greatly unexpected, suddenly. But for boy, I can't remember what the word is now. I'll have to let you know tomorrow. But there is, I just wrote them all down too. Oh, ebullient, E-B-U-L-L-I-E-N-T is, ebullient is overflowing with excessive excitement. Ebullient. I was so ebullient when I won the lottery. I wish. Anyway, you got to play in order to win, right? But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you. Until tomorrow, I try to stay happy.